It's not arrogance if I'm really that good. Welcome to McBain Moments. Although that sounds like it would be a quote that comes out of the lips of Iron Man, it's actually a quote that I came up with many years ago. And ironically, see the pun there, it was born of arrogance. Who would have guessed? So, arrogance is the act of believing you're better at something than you are. Because it's true. The statement itself is factual. If you are really that good, it is no longer arrogance. However, or more accurately, it would be earned arrogance. Because to a certain extent, arrogance can be important. It can be very important when trying to make an impression on people who are not willing to see past their own preconceived notions. It can also hurt you a lot. But the fact of the matter is in most cases, people who display a great deal of arrogance do not have the skill to back up that arrogance. And so it leads to the question, well, at what point do you earn the ability to act like that? And that's a very good question. And the answer would be when you are so competent at something that you are known for it. Or when you are so competent at something you can do it by rote, without error. Call it, you have 3 errors for every million attempts. That's what Six Sigma uses. Its barrier. I think it's a very good measure. 3 errors, it's like 3.5 errors for every million attempts. At that point, it's no longer arrogance. It's what you do. And it brings up another personal motto that I have. I do what I do because it's what I do. And so what I do has changed over the course of my life. But when I came up with that particular motto, it had to do with providing support to friends and family. It had to do with the job that I did at the time. I was a grocer. And, when people ask, why do you work 70 hours a week? Why do you go to work at midnight and stay there until 4 p.m. the next day? It's because it's what I did. And so that was born out of not having a better answer for that particular question. But it really was truthful. I did what I did because it's what I did. And to a certain extent today, that's extended to other aspects of my life. But between those two, and they were both born in the same era, I thought I was better at grocery than I was. I wasn't bad at it. But I wasn't good enough to use a statement like it's only arrogance if it's not arrogance if you're really that good. I learned over the years that it's important that you learn things so well that you can do it by rote. And once you're doing it by rote, you've mastered that individual skill. Any individual skill will not be enough to be so successful at something that the whole thing is done by rote. You have to develop each individual skill over time. Jessica Savanich, I think it's Russian. So I apologize to her if I'm mispronouncing your name. For every 2 minutes of glamour, there are 8 hours of hard work. Think about that for a moment. For every 2 minutes of glamour, 8 hours of hard work. Let that sink in. For those that are doing, let's take just content creation for a minute. I produce all of this content. I have 190 subscribers. Think of the hours of work that's gone into the channel. the number of videos I have. And yet there's no glamour yet. I'm okay with that. I walked into this knowing that there would be a multi-year ramp up. That's the way it works. But it helps to illustrate just how much work goes into just a little bit of recognition. And this works in other fields as well. When you are an electrician, it's 4 years to become a journeyman. You work 8 hours a day. And although it is, and sometimes longer, I know electricians work 12. That's a short day. But for the recognition of becoming a journeyman, they put in 4 years of hard work. And it's only 15 minutes of glamour when they receive their certificate. Or maybe an evening. But see how much work backs that up? College degrees are the same way. If you are an SCA member, awards in the SCA work the same way, or any organization. It doesn't take... Nothing in life will be handed to you. It will always take hard work. And the best way to make that work efficient is to learn the skills by rote. And become so good at the skill set that it no longer is arrogance. I would encourage you to go out and look at what you do and figure out what aspects of it you can become so good at that it just becomes habit. So it's the thing that you do, so you do the things that you do because they are what you do. This has been a McBain moment. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.